Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's do this. Let's talk about stock market rally that's probably going to happen tomorrow. And for those that say you can't time the market, let me just tell you, I do it all the time. I did this 7 weeks ago, drew these candles out, and here we are. Let's also talk about this next awkward one that's about to play out. That's going to kind of suck. Tesla. Whew. Who's buying Tesla at 180? Anyway, let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? Kareem says, hoping Bitcoin ETF approval is tomorrow morning. Why, you just that much in a hurry to watch some stocks sell off? What's up, South Bay Rider? Alex, Lisa, and Darren. Lester, what's going on? Yes, Power Zone Trading is the other channel. So I'm simulcasting on two, Don Fran Show and Power Zone Trading. Yeah, that's Brad's old channel, Own the Chaos. We merged under that one. So right now I'm simulcasting on both. Don Fran Show is where you'll also get like AI stuff. But we thought it'd be cooler to do stocks only over here. What did I do for my birthday? Worked on this current house that I'm in, this current property. Got a new paint sprayer. Pretty excited about that. But I got to finish the flooring up. I'm going to put the trim on, then I'm going to shoot it all. It's going to be amazing. 228 Tesla is a buy, Joseph says. Well, if you like it at 228, you are going to love it at 180. I promise. Oh, I promise. 228, huh? Puts it right there at that zone. Hopefully it doesn't break that. Simulcasting, like horse racing. Yes. There's another Miss Fromberger. I don't know what channel she's on, but thank you. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Let's rock and roll. So even though I drew these candles out 7 weeks ago, the market got to that exact height and then sold off. Telling you tomorrow we're going to rally. Let's break down why. 180 load up on leaps. I will grab a couple Tesla leaps at 180. First of all, as far as the dollar goes, the dollar did rally. I did add on to my US dollar Japanese yen short today. I was a little bit hesitant last night for that very reason. We jumped up, hit that, well, my magic yellow box. So I did add short right here. So hopefully that just melts off into the abyss and I will just make more money. As far as Bitcoin goes, again, if you're on the Power Zone channel, you guys probably aren't too familiar with what my channel calls magic yellow boxes, but you'll notice Bitcoin sold off, bounced right there. These are still just areas of attention. This is where big money is actually buying and selling, where you guys would likely think it's because of news and something like that. But it kind of looks like the Bitcoin ETF approval probably will happen tomorrow. If that's what they're going to decide, this sell-off is likely somebody wants to get in cheap. We do have the approval tomorrow. We'll see. But I would be very careful for anybody in any Bitcoin stocks. MSTR, so MicroStrategy, their whole cash on hand is basically Bitcoin. A lot of people have bought it just because of their exposure to Bitcoin and they don't know how to actually buy Bitcoin. So they bought this particular ticker. They bought coin, not because they liked it, but because of the exposure to Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people are up on these positions, and now they will have access to be able to buy an ETF that actually tracks Bitcoin, not some watered down version like that, or Mara. Mara had a great day today. Watch out for this. And I've said this a million times before. When you get these pump and dumps, usually it sells off. You get your first round to take profit. Everyone puts little try hard hats on, and they go again awkwardly around that yellow box. But then there's usually that lower high. So if that lower high comes into place, anybody in Mara, I would watch out for that. And watch out, I would be managing my position. Same with Riot. I don't know if anybody's really in Hut. Hut didn't really have that kind of follow through on that one. Very not. This is as far as the miners go. That one's the least popular. In the money or out of the money? South Bay Riders asking. Okay, when you purchase leaps, do you buy deep in the money? I go at the money. I'm usually right at the money. Typically, anytime I'm buying options, I'm at the money. Deep in the money is just a synthetic long position because your deltas are the same. And for everybody that doesn't know how to do this, because I know I'm on a second channel and they probably haven't heard this very often, but stocks are deltas. They're hard deltas. Yeah, hard deltas are shares. Options are soft deltas. So your deltas do line when you go deep in the money. It's a 100 delta. So it's basically the same thing. You just spend a lot less. You still control and run 100 shares. It'll still have that effect. But I do like to get some growth out of it. So I find the sweet spots right there at the 50 deltas. So I can actually buy 2 of those, still control 100 deltas. But as it pops up, now all of a sudden I have 200 shares basically. So you'll always see me buying probably right at the money. If I see a spicy move coming in hot, like I think we're about to rally, then I'll go slightly out of the money just to take advantage of some of that growth again. That's where I'll be going on that one. 52 years old. I'm actually 36. So it feels like 50. Beto, is that the futures one? Pro shares, Bitcoin oh, never mind. That's Pro shares, Bitcoin strategy ETF. This is the one that buys the futures. Well, it tracks the futures at least. Not so much of the pump and dump the other ones have. Again, Mara, Riot. Be careful of everybody pumping these things. These are Bitcoin hype stocks. When Bitcoin gets hyped, these run. When Bitcoin just isn't being talked about on Facebook, these don't really do that well. Check the mail. Did it come in, Alex, or no? Am I getting set up? All right. As far as the Russell goes, I did tag out of my Russell short position. So I went short the Russell yesterday when that alert hit. I did add on, but I do think we're going to rally. And that wick actually ended up getting me today because I was trailing it kind of tight. So I locked in my profits. I do think we'll probably rally up into that zone. And that's where I'm going to go, probably go short again. I do think we'll rally tomorrow, probably a little bit into Monday. And then I'm curious to see, do we start putting in lower highs and start to turn this ship around? Looking at the options world, we're about 1.5 standard deviations out today. I did sell some puts on QQQ today, which is a bullish play. I just need the market to go sideways or up, or just not down any further than my strike. But right around here is where I like selling puts because they get juiced up. They're really expensive. Everybody thinks the market's going to crash, and then we rally it right back up. More likely than not, we're going to rein it right back in and call it a day. So the spot to watch out for tomorrow is going to be just shy of that 192. It's about 191.75. We could get that vacuum down and we rein it back into 196.50. Did you get your adult teeth in yet? Yeah. You guys are laughing, but I had like a mental breakdown at 21. I was like, this is it. It's time for a midlife crisis. There's nothing left to unlock. All right, NASDAQ. I did get this alert today, but I do think we're going to rally. I think we're going to find some buyers for the type 2. We kind of did today. It did just came right back down. This was my alert to go short, but because we just ran so far into that, it would be a bad time to go short. I don't like shorting in the hole, so I wanted to pop back up or at least base out before I do go short. So I did sell some QQQ puts. Again, technically a bullish play. I think we rally this thing up. As of right now, I'm thinking probably a lower high, but maybe tomorrow on Monday, green. It'd be quite the rally to everyone talks about how the first 5 days of the year will likely predict how the whole year is going to pan out. So I do think we end the year bullish because it's an election year, but it's going to take quite the rally to end the 5 days green. I made some money on Mara. I made some spread money on Mara, so I did it again. Okay. Told y'all that's why he buys bets. The next one's not going to be a bet. It's either going to I'm so back and forth. One day it's a McLaren, one day it's a Ferrari, a very specific Ferrari or a Lamborghini. But 36 is a tough age, could go either way. All right, as far as the Qs go, we got outside the standard deviation. So I'm actually in the 396 puts. So I need to stay above 396. So that needs to keep it together and rally. We need to rein this thing back in. Something we haven't talked about, and I just talked about with the mentorship group. Look at the rally we've been under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks of green. This pullback is just a little dusting off the top. This is literally nothing for the bears to get excited about, bulls to even get worried about. But it's when we rally up and make that lower high, then I would. Effectively, your weekly trend has changed right now. Unless Friday we were to just full send this thing up right onto 407 in the NASDAQ, then that would just be, weird. Cody did the 395s, 394s. Nice. I did 396, 394s. Did I buy POAI stock? Not as a trade, but I do have it in the investment account. I do like that one. I got SoFi yesterday in the zone. Nice. I bought quite a bit yesterday, so hopefully today was a little bit more just kind of management, watching numbers bounce around. Sold some stuff, tagged out of my short position on the Russell. Okay, so the S&P. For everyone on Brad's channel, again, drew these candles back here. When they say you can't time the market, they just mean you can't time the market. It's not because it's impossible. It's just because you just don't know what you're doing. Just kidding. I'm not going to be that cocky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks green. Just barely a pullback right here. I do think, again, we see a little bit of a rally tomorrow. I really thought we were going to see all-time highs. So as much as I called this out, I really thought when I first put these here, I said we're going to, and you can go back to the stream. Just go back to the stream around November. I say we're not going to hit all-time highs. We're going to come just close to it. And then we did. We come just, so I 100% called this out to the T. Not even a smidge off. But lately, these past couple weeks, I kind of thought we were just going to tag it, kind of see all-time highs, get the headlines, and then sell off. If we don't do that, next week, I just think we're going to miss the boat. We might be selling off a little bit more. So depending on how much they want to take it as far as the Red Sea goes or anything like that, I don't think that's a big deal yet. That might be a leading excuse. Right now, I want to see what excuses they do come up with. But first and foremost, I'm thinking we're going to rally. We rally up and make that lower high. I'm going to lean in and go short. As much as these streams might sound bearish, I think this will be our last decent dip buy for the whole year. If we were to make this kind of sell off the rest of the year, election year, they pad all the wallets. Everybody's looking good. I think we'll get a decent rally, and you'll be probably upset that you didn't buy down here. SQQQ puts tomorrow. Get them cheap? Maybe. Yeah, Cody, I'm waiting for the lower high. Did you see the cliff dive on MBLY? I did not. It's not one of my regulars. Mobileye Glow. RIP. Ouch. What happened here? They bunker up with GameStop. Walgreens, Mobileye. Oh, those are the big movers. Walgreens announced a dividend cut. I thought I saw headlines about that. Crashes into auto chip pileup. Careful chasing the biggest losers group. There's a reason why they're on the biggest losers. Mobileye took down Intel and NXPI as well. I'm okay with Intel going down because I want to buy some more of that. Got some stuff today, but I feel like I'm gonna get clapped. Abraham, which channel are you watching on? HB2U. Is that a Tigger? Just kidding. I know it's happy birthday. Appreciate all the happy birthday wishes. But people keep saying it. And I keep wanting to say you too. Let's see. My alert to add went off, but I'm waiting for a lower high. Okay. Mobile. I don't know. I wouldn't be too quick to pick this up. I hope that guy listened to you about Dish. Delisted and merged with Sats and brought it down with it. Dish got delisted? Is it coming? It's not a TC yet. Okay. No splits in here, right? Dish has been on quite a run lately. I hope he sells. I hope he sells. Please, for the love of God, don't ride that next wave down. All right, let's do There's why I think we're going to rally. A lot of stocks right now, so we're kind of at the expected moves. There's a lot of lines. This is very busy. I'm actually very annoyed at this Tesla chart. I don't like it when things look like this. So I'm going to clean this up. But right at the expected move. So we either vacuum this thing, or we're not at the expected move. We just got inside of it. Sorry. These lines were off. So this right here and this. So right there. I don't think we see any fireworks. If we get outside that, we could melt down to the 222 mark. I don't think so. Meta bounced right off of it. So it looks like we're gonna keep her inside the range. If you guys want to watch these ranges get drawn, just tune in on Sunday. We're just outside on Microsoft. So again, I kind of think we rein it back in. If we get that vacuum down, watch out for 362. Nvidia, we already got below, brought it right back. Let's bring these lines up. These lines are usually not off on Sunday or Monday, whenever we did the stream. The way this indicator works is it grabs it Monday, but the market was closed. And I told everybody just ignore it, but then it did work the next day. So that's why they're not. These are usually not ever off. Amazon. If you guys scroll up in the chat, I bought Amazon. 144.81 is my fill. Just before the stream went live. We went 2 standard deviations, and it's a type 1 bounce. So I'm about that Amazon life for tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we can just go zone to zone. I don't know if I'll swing that over the weekend. That'll just be a lock in my money tomorrow. Michael Anthony has been in Trader Merlin. I need to jump in there and see how he's doing. Apple just getting wrecked. We're at 3 standard deviations for Apple. It's probably safe to say this Apple's going to see an oversold bounce tomorrow. So that could pop up. If anybody bought the type 2, we still have time. Still have time right now, as a matter of fact. I would buy it with a stop at 180.45. And no need to give it a bunch of wiggle room. Let's check Google real quick. We'll go down the Magnificent 7 right here at 1 standard deviation. Looks like the fireworks are probably going to be done. We might rally this thing back in. Banks just want to bring Apple down. Two banks downgraded it this week. Interesting. Is Apple about to make an AI announcement? Why are banks downgrading this all of a sudden? Huh. Why are they ganging up on it so much? Sales? Nah, I'm not buying it. Don't care. That's gonna be. I'm gonna be watching this one a little bit closer now. I like it when other people manipulate stuff, because that tells me. Because why do big players manipulate things? Because they're interested in it. When they're interested in it, I'm interested in it. China sales are down. Sweet. I think it had to do with China. It was on Bloomberg earlier. That's what the talking heads are saying. Well, the talking heads are the reason why a lot of people fail at this. Got to read between the lines on that one. When do I think Tesla hits 265? December. Let's say we bounce here, come back up. Let's say we keep a nice repetitive motion right here, 260 July. July-ish. Let's go June. Let's give it June. If we're throwing darts, June. Need to set. I agree. I need to set an alert to go long. Where do we want an alert? I know you're talking about Apple. I think we need to wait. As a trade, you could just you could buy some literally right now because I think it'll pop tomorrow. I'd rather it pop tomorrow than come down again and then sandwich it with alert. What's up, Kyle? Thank you for that, man. All the way from Australia, came in here to wish me a happy birthday. The 160 area, I don't know if it gets that far. I think I'm going to put my alert on that bottom zone. Ooh, actually, I'm going to put alert at both of these zones right here. we start getting to that level, I want to see how fast it gets that level. Do we jack around? Do we blow right through it? I want to be notified at each one of these zones. If Apple got to 160, that would probably be the time I would be interested in maybe buying some more. I know a lot of people love Apple, and I get it's an easy stock to buy. Warren Buffett likes it. I don't know if you guys knew that. But Warren Buffett liked this Apple back here. You see this continuous growth. The Rona actually started back here. They sent it up and then crashed it. That's the Rona crash we're looking at right there. And then this happened. And then the stock market crashed. Apple just kind of avoided it, which is why I sold my Apple position. 75%. I do still have some, but basically almost my whole thing. Sold it at 175. Because it never, a lot of quants thought they're going to chase after liquidity and come after Apple. They never did. Apple just kind of avoided everything. So Apple right now is just it's standing out a little too much for me. So I've no super urgency to just jump back in as far as an investment goes. I do think it's up. If we were to take it all the way back down to here, then I for sure would. But this growth is uncharacteristic of Apple. And this is where I start to sound like I'm a fan of Android, but Apple didn't really do anything. Siri's not attached to AI or Chat GPT like the rest of the world, and everything is. Yeah, I bet the Walmart scanners will have attached to Chat GPT faster than Apple will attach Siri to it. There's a lot of things Apple's not doing, and as one of the tech leaders, I feel like they're very much lagging. So anyway, Palantir knows we want some more next week, so it's not going to break 16 for us. I know this is getting incredibly annoying because I'm going to end up buying it at the next peak. So I think they're gonna rein it back in. Hopefully, Palantir has a pretty decent day. Added this more again in the growth account, and then also my main account. We got 3 more weeks of Palantir buy, and then we're switching it up. We're switching it up to Rivian. Don't do it. Oh no, is Rivian gonna tag out? Oh, please don't. The Rivian's in my main account. Rivian, I'm actually hoping comes down here. I want 3 more weeks of Rivian to sell off because it's something I want to add into the growth account for the year of 2024. But I want to sell options against it. So I don't mind if this thing jumps off an absolute cliff. I really don't. Maybe it can catch on fire or something. The same usual stuff they talk about with Tesla. Full send. I'll gladly take this L if it means Rivian's coming on down here. Let Palantir go up so I can sell covered calls on it. Yeah. QS was on fire today due to Volkswagen news of their battery advancement partnership. Wow, they just went from complete zone to zone, blew right through that one, found some sellers there. If I was looking for a dip buy, it'd be right here at 850. Did we even hang up there? Ooh, nope. Wait for the dip. If I was buying this right now for this rally, my stop would be 915. That's a bull pennant. So often, if you're on the Don Franchi, you've heard this a million times. But be careful of your biases. Right there, that is a bull flag or reversal. They often look the same. Depending on your bias, usually just leads you into that direction. With your leg in like this, you think that's the bull's catching their breath for the next leg up. So you would almost always play that bullish. I do think that's a little bit overbought, though. So if I'm going long, my stop's below the base every time. You're right, you're going to be managing money, or it tags out. It takes 3 brain cells to take that trade. When can Peloton hit all-time highs? 5 years. Kareem, I'm going to ask you one time. Are you still holding Peloton, and what's your average? Hit the like button to wish Don a happy birthday. Oh, I like that one. If you want to wish me a happy birthday, hit the like button on whichever one I'm watching. Stop. Kareem, I better hear your average is $5.40. What's up, Nima? Oh, man. We got some work to do if you're still in Peloton. Now, I did switch. Most of my cardio is going to be on Peloton this year. So that's pretty bullish. Now, if you're on Brad's channel and you don't know what kind of effect I have on the market, Monster beverages. Now, in this chart, you can see when I'm drinking it and when I announce I'm quitting Monsters and why I have a bad habit. And where's my Monster? It's on my other desk. Anyway, I started drinking Monsters again. You can physically see it. So if there's any hope for you in your Peloton position, so far I've been on it every day this year. Mine is 582. Bought it today. I like that. You can make money in any ticker, but I worry about some of the people on this other channel of the bag holding situation. Honestly, if I bought at 582, my stop would probably, this is where people would probably hate me, 585, and I'd kick my feet up on the desk. If we were to hit that, argument can be made right now. Sell half, lock that half. I hate when it runs up like this and you could trail it all day and then it never tags. And then you hit that bell and like that sucks. Because tomorrow, like there's some profit taking and it gaps down, and that part sucks. Or it could run. You know, that's the coin toss you got going on there. In situations like that, that's where I would sell half. Usually I just trail my position. I never scale out. But on those days where it just runs without looking back and it hits that bell and you've been trailing it just right, I would just close half. Oh, dang. Monster looks nicer than Celsius. It's because it is. Your average is $22. You're holding 25 shares. Is Cody here? This could be a good clip. All right, so your average is $22 and you're holding 25 shares. Jesus. First of all, why are you still in this past 20? Like that should have been like, what about this? Now I'm going to lean into you a little bit here. What about this looks good? What about this is like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to keep on holding. This looks like a good idea. Palantir. Everything about this chart looks like it's just a good hold. You know, just selling off and selling off and, you know, more selling off. There's the 2021 hype of just nonsense, not how the market works. Came back down, gap down, full send. And then you caught the knife. Big deal. Okay. Stop below new lows. You should have stopped at 1985. But you didn't. So, no, neither here nor there. Hopefully, you only need to learn this lesson once. The one thing that you probably shouldn't do, that even I do, and it comes back to you have too much ego and you're not stopping out. You should close this in every fashion. This is a crap stock. Why are you still in it? Should have been closed. But you don't want to take a loss. That's it. And honestly, if we're going to have that rant, if your plan is to buy and only sell when it's green, you are delusional. I only say the word asinine here and there. This is one of the times. You're telling me you're going to be the only trader in the world that never, trader, investor, whatever you want to call it, never takes a loss. Because that's what you're telling me. I'm only going to sell when it's green. I'm going to buy, and if it's down, I might add on, but I'm only going to sell when it's green. Okay? That's stupid. 100% stupid. We're here now, so it doesn't matter. The one thing that even I do is it's called buying yourself out of a position. So right now your average is $22. It wouldn't take that much capital to load up on a bunch of shares right now, bring your average way down, and you got one more solid green day, and all of a sudden you have a green position, and then sell it. It's buying your way out. It's incredibly dangerous because, one, look at your habits and what you know and where you're at. That's not being mean or anything, but just look at the level of where you're at. There's, again, not to be cocky or arrogant, there's a huge difference in me doing it and you. Because if you're already holding this, who's to say you know the right time to load up, bring your average down, and then sell later? Because what if you think you got it right, you load up, you went from, I don't know how to even describe that, a fishing weight to holding an anvil in a lake. You're going to drop that thing in your P&L faster than you could even imagine. If he bought 75 shares now at 650, his cost average would come down to 1037. So buy 150 shares. You have 25. You can do 175 shares. Sell a couple contracts against it. Bring your average down a little bit further. Sell a couple calls. Let them get called away. Wouldn't even be bad at all. I would be careful doing that. But it's time to do something with this position. You're going to wait for this thing to get delisted, go to OTC. Do you miss Brad that much? You want to trade some OTC stocks? You want to hold something until it does? What about this ticker says it's going to go up at all? We just went over this the other day. It's very hard to even be an investor. People say trading is hard. To be an investor, there's an 80 or 90% chance, it's one of those numbers, that your ticker will not be here in 5 years. This is already a couple years in. Clock's ticking. So on top of that, I mean, just while we're at it, there's been over 100,000 stocks in existence. Right now, there's over 6,000, just over 6,000. So that means the other 90 some thousand have come. They've all heard it's all about time in versus timing, and then they left. Zero. You lost all your money. Uh, so I would say it's about time to break up with this ticker and make something happen. Whether you got to buy yourself out or say it sucks to suck, close it, because there's no such thing as making your money back. That's another stupid thing I've ever heard. I got to make my money back. Like, what ticker, what 3, 4 letters are you ever buying to not make your money back? Or to not make money in general. So there's no such thing as making money back. The loss is already there. The whole it's not lost till you lock it in. Like, shut up. Who told you that? An absolute idiot. Because you can't just call a Peloton and say, hey, I changed my mind. Give me my money back. It's not how it works. That loss is already reflected in your account balance, whether you like to believe it or not. Your money's attached to these 4 letters. I know I'm pointing that way because the thing's mirrored. But your money is attached to these 4 letters. And every morning you wake up and you say, you know what? My money is best in these 4 letters and not some other 4 letters. There's probably 1,000 other stocks you could have bought and had well over your money back and then some had you just closed the position and found something going up. Let's talk about AMC next. That always goes well. Stop. Last year, Don had a resolution of not using the word stupid. This year, Don hit it day 4. I'm not calling anyone stupid. That action itself is stupid. In 2024, Javi says, Kareem, in 2024, fall in love with levels and stop losses. I agree. Kareem, where you at? Cutting it loose, cure for opium addiction? Yeah. Yeah, get rid of it. Is it even liquid? Let's just see it. Let's just even see what kind of hope you have. By the way, how many? Where's this at? There we go. I don't know why it went to my other monitor. PSX. Let's just look at that chart real quick. Let's say you just cut your money and bought this. What stupid time frame I hate. Oh, I hate TOS for this. Look at that. Let's say you cut your money at any time and just bought this. Anytime. Would you buy 1 share? 2 shares? That's usually someone else's excuse. I can only buy 1 share. I'd rather have 1 share of something doing good than 1,000 shares of something about to get delisted. This does good and it pays a dividend. A million times better. It's one of my new favorites. Phillips 66. Not entirely liquid when it comes to options though. Premium's juiced up on this. What do we got? So you buy 175 shares, you bring your average down. You don't even have to buy it. You could just sell. Ooh, I would probably just sell puts on this. So next week, I'd sell puts, $6 puts right here. You collect 27 cents. If you get assigned, you just bought 100 more shares at $6. Brings your average way down. If you don't get assigned, you just do it next week and the following week. And then just use that capital to bring your average down. When you find that break even, cut that thing loose. Or let's just say you buy 175 shares, brings your average down to $657. Sell one of these strikes, and if it just keeps pumping, you collect 8 more bucks. You sell your shares at $750. You know, bring it all the way down. Collect 14 more dollars per contract. You'll probably have to have 2 contracts. You'll have 200 shares. So you'll collect $28 and then sell your shares at $7. There's a million ways. I've seen people in a much deeper holes than that. This is not even a bad one to get out of. Easy one to rant about. But this would be easy to actually dig out of and actually be in a green trade. You jack around and do this on a serious ticker with any real capital, though, and that'll be a lesson you don't want to learn twice. The cool thing about this is you get to learn this lesson on a, I'm going to call it a crap stock, and you lost a few bucks. People out here making moves like that with their retirement, following some moron on YouTube. Their due diligence was, I'll just listen to another idiot on YouTube. And then they buy something like this, hold on to it forever, and that's their actual retirement, and then they lose all their money. Obviously not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And this is pretty entertaining watching people buy this thing and they'll make money. It really is. Anyway, enough on that. Can I go over Enphase? I can. I did sell some puts on Enphase. Looks like I'm about to get it. I sold some 120 puts. So that stays below 120. I will be in Enphase again. But I got paid to be in Enphase, so I'm all right. I sold some for this Friday and next Friday. So I'll get assigned some here. And if it continues to sell off, I'll have them next Friday as well. Listen to some idiot on YouTube and we're watching YouTube. Thought that was funny. Yeah. Just remember, subscriber count doesn't equal accuracy. Some of the dumbest ones have the most subscribers. Oh, we're rolling in phase or taking the hit. I'm going to go ahead and take the shares now. And then I'm going to start selling calls against it. And if the other one, like if it bounces, I'll take the shares this week. And then if it bounces and next week doesn't, I'll sell puts and calls. Yeah. I don't know how I might get aggressive with. So I don't know how long I'll have the shares because I'll sell the 120 calls probably. If it doesn't bounce, I'll sell 120 calls while I can. You got the 128 and 120. Gonna roll the 128 down to 126. Yeah. Luckily, I haven't been in phase. Is starting to get back on my list. I didn't want to buy it up here, so when it sold off, I sold puts. So I'm fine with that. I have some puts on in phase at 126, so I'll get shares tomorrow and then sell calls. You guys got a little excited on in phase. I know in phase is a very, very popular one, but right now, just lower highs, lower lows. This last high getting above this was kind of my signal and why we talked about the mentorship group that I finally just now liked it. In phase has been called out in every stream, and everyone keeps asking me. He's even in here right now, is he not? Nima. It's got to be Nima. Nima or Karim. Hey, is in phase a buy? Would you buy in phase now and spend? No. We had one right here. I can't remember. Did I not adjust this or did we take the L on this? I can't remember. Just for the sake, we'll pretend I took a loss there. So anytime you guys see these are trades that I take typically live with you guys. But yeah, it's been crap. The finally pulling around like that is kind of your first clue that things might be turning around. So hopefully we can bounce, put in a lower high, maybe start turn this thing around. It's still going to be very interest rate sensitive. So I don't think it's going to dodge the pullback we see at the beginning of this year, but I do think it'll be a good one. As far as popularity goes, solar, everything about this is I like it so far. Yeah, let's go over SoFi, and I do have to get to my mentorship group. It is Zoom night, so on Thursdays and Sundays now, it's all on Zoom. I can see everyone's faces. You can see your facial reaction when I say that move was incredibly stupid. And I can see if you're crying or not. Haven't heard you talk about buy the F and oh, never mind. BTFP, which is the sole reason markets have moved the way they have since last March. The sole reason, huh? Did Goldman tell you that? Swan, you're a Brad follower, right? I don't want to hurt all Brad's feelings. There's no crying in baseball stocks. All right, SoFi. I have some of it now. Again, sold some 850 puts, so I had some 8s. Looks like the 850s I'll be assigned tomorrow unless it does bounce, and I come out smelling like a rose. But as far as the shares that I have, I'm going to sell the 9s. If tomorrow's green, I want to sell the 9. If tomorrow shoots up, I'll sell the 950s. If tomorrow kind of dances around like this, maybe pushed up to 850 something, then I'll sell the $9 strike calls. Bank Term Funding Program. It's a Fed program. We're on the Fed stuff, huh? We're gonna start breaking away from the Fed conversations. Man, I do have to break that down real quick. Hang on. So I haven't heard you talk about the Bank Term Funding Program. That's because I don't talk about the news. I usually leave it up to Brad because he thinks news. That sounds very condescending. All I care about is what news is being released at about what time. That affects some Forex plays. But non-farm payrolls, unemployment. You guys notice how no one ever talked about this or cared before the Rona? Each year kind of has its own theme of why things move. And it's because, again, your little brains would pop. Your little gray matter would fall out of your ears if you found out that news didn't actually move the market. It's kind of what keeps this little ball churning. So I don't really care what the news is. I just care about when it's going to happen because I know there's going to be some volatility with algos and everything. Tomorrow we got PMI and the non-farm payrolls and unemployment rates. That'll be the excuse for to why tomorrow rallies. Plug is even worse. Oh, you must be on Peloton. Must be buying Plug Power. Ooh, I could imagine buying this. Not with Tesla's supercharging. Anyway, Swan, not to completely shut that down. But that's just why I haven't talked about it. Or sell the Peloton and use that money to buy a bunch of used Peloton bikes, then sell them as scrap metal. Those things are heavy. Don't think it works that way. I gotta say, if you can pick up a used Peloton, I do actually like the Peloton system. The classes and then the cameras, you can work out and talk to other people. I gotta say that I could see why people stay working out longer on Peloton. Basically, it's a redesigned quantitative easing. Yeah. I hear you. I think those policies affect more the dollar than they will the stocks. So I guess in a roundabout, watered down version, it could eventually reach. I don't want to completely shut you down. Just my style of trading is not that. If that makes sense. And for everybody watching, I do fully understand it is not my way or the highway. As much as sometimes it does sound like that. This is just kind of how I do things. If another way made more sense, I would just be talking about that. There's plenty of ways to skin the cat. There's just a million and three ways to do it wrong. And you can find those million and three ways here on any other YouTube channel. Add AI into the workouts. It'll be nuts. A lot of that's already here. Supernatural on the Oculus is amazing. I truly believe that is the future. What is supernatural? I'm big on the Oculus. Looking to move my banking to SoFi. Put my money where my money is. Put your money where your mouth is, or money where your money is, because you have more stocks. All right, guys, I do have to get to my midship group. Shout out to everybody on both channels. Make sure you guys do hit the thumbs up. The question for this stream is, do we finish the first 5 days of the year green or red? And if you guys don't know what I'm doing, when you answer this question, I'm doing a random comment selector, and we don't know what video yet, but I'm going to ask a question in each video, and the monthly ad revenue that the channel generates, I'm going to start giving that away. So answer the question. This video has to get 1,500 views. 1,500 views to unlock that. Make sure you have an answer out there, and let's rock and roll. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Midship group, don't go anywhere because we're gonna hit that Zoom right now. Everyone else, you will see me Sunday. We're gonna draw out these weird white lines that everything keeps bouncing around and on, and explain that a little bit more. Have a good one.